Rival Joe Biden is around 10 points in front, about double the margin of Hillary Clinton 4 years ago. But last time the polls were obviously wrong, and even if they're correct this year, the president still has time to turn them around. From Washington, Chief Foreign Correspondent Philip Williams reports.
For Donald Trump, the next 100 days will be dominated by that deepest of all political urges, survival.
We are one America, and we put America first.
6 months ago, he had a strong economy to sell to the voters, but that was no match for what he never fails now to call
the China virus, the Chinese flu, Kung flu.
Until recently, he insisted it would all simply go away. It hasn't, and 147,000 Americans have now died, tens of thousands more getting sick each day, and it's only getting worse. It's clear the president believes he must get the economy open to have a chance at a second term. The COVID virus has stolen his re-election platform. The huge rallies that energised the president and his base have been abandoned. The poor turnout for June's Tulsa rally mean it's probably the last before November's election.
I probably agree with about 80% of what he's doing, but from a morality standpoint, I cannot stand a liar. I can't stand a vindictive individual.
You can't relate.
Donald Trump's Democratic Party rival Joe Biden has not had to do much. His rising popularity may be in part simply due to not being Donald Trump.
Can you imagine standing up when you're a president saying it's not my responsibility? I take no responsibility. It's not. I mean, literally. Literally.
Those words didn't come out of our mouths while we were in office.
The killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis sparked international protests.
Who are you protecting?
But the president is using continuing protests in cities like Portland, Oregon, to send in federal forces against the wishes of local officials, all part of his re-election mantra, law and order.
The cities, unfortunately, that are in trouble are all run by Democrats.
Fear and division are not unfamiliar tactics for this most unusual of presidents. What may defeat him is a perception he has failed to adequately protect the American people from what many see as their greatest enemy, COVID-19. There is one more extremely serious scenario facing this country potentially. President Trump has already said he may not accept the result of the election, citing possible voter fraud through mail-in ballots. It's unclear what he'll do if he doesn't prevail, but he has a rusted-on base that believe his every word. And what will they do if President Trump says the election was stolen? Philip Williams, ABC News, Washington.
Spain insists it has a number of fresh outbreaks of COVID-19 under control, despite growing fears of a second wave taking hold in Europe. Cases are rising in France and Germany too, as British health authorities impose surprise quarantine measures on Spanish holidaymakers.
Spain has always been a European summer hotspot, but now it's for all the wrong reasons, as coronavirus cases continue to surge.
I'm afraid that things can change very quickly, and things have changed quite remarkably.
The UK's Deputy Chief Medical Officer called on Britons to return home immediately or face 2 weeks in self-isolation after sharp increases in infections in 2 regions.
Lots of people that I've been here with in Benidorm thought that it was incredibly safe, haven't felt endangered, and were quite shocked at the idea that there's 2 weeks of quarantine when we get back.
Spanish health authorities have closed bars and nightclubs in Barcelona and the northeast, with the majority of cases recorded in Catalonia. But it insists the outbreaks are under control. Other countries aren't taking any chances. France, Belgium and Norway have joined the UK in imposing restrictions on travellers from Spain, forcing tens of thousands of holidaymakers to reconsider their plans.
Although we could go on the holidays, we've booked holidays, we can't come back and then stay in the house for 2 weeks.
Their absence will hit the Spanish economy hard, with tourism normally accounting for 12% of GDP.
Families up and down Britain are going to be faced with this awful choice. Well, we're not going to get any money back from the airlines because we haven't got a package holiday. What do we do?
It's a hard choice, with travellers forced to weigh up the risks. Michael Troy, ABC News.
North Korea has reported what it describes as its first suspected case of coronavirus. State media says a person who defected to South Korea 3 years ago returned across the demarcation line with COVID-19 symptoms last week. Leader Kim Jong-un has had an emergency meeting with top officials, imposing a lockdown in the border city of Kaesong. Mr. Kim has launched an investigation into how the person managed to cross the heavily fortified border. The British singer-guitarist Peter Green, who co-founded the band Fleetwood Mac, has died at the age of 73.
Don't ask me what I think of you. I might not give the answer that you want me to.
Green is widely regarded as one of the best blues rock guitarists of all time. He helped form Fleetwood Mac in 1967, but left a few years later as he struggled with his mental health. He was later diagnosed with schizophrenia. Green's family says he died in his sleep.